Hey, what's up y'all? Talentscowt coming at you another video. I'm your host Terrence Godfrey and doing a little bit of a different format today. So I've been in a little bit of a funk, so I decided to make my own personal pros and cons list of just this whole COVID situation, just so I can kind of put into perspective that even though it's pretty trash, it's not all bad. So yeah, I found 4 pros, 4 cons. I'm gonna share them with you, and I urge you all to make your own pros and cons list so you can maybe put into perspective that even though there's a lot of bad going on, maybe there were some benefits that you got to experience. And yeah, let's just get to it. So I'm gonna start off by being negative Nancy. First con, COVID, like actually getting COVID. Yeah, had it back in April, pretty trash, wouldn't recommend, 0 out of 10. Wasn't like the worst situation ever, but I did feel really sick, and I do have like a history with like asthma and things like that. So any like lung related anything is like a big deal for me. That's why with the fires going on here in the Bay Area, I've just been I'm gonna stay in the house. I stopped doing all of my jogs and runs because yeah, the air's trying to kill me. But yeah, so the first pro on the list is going to be work from home. So I actually, I work in tech, and pretty much the entire tech industry right now, we're almost all working from home if your job allows. And that was really cool on my end because I live in the East Bay and I used to commute over into San Francisco. So I live pretty close to a BART station, maybe like a 12-minute walk or a 3-minute drive. And then it would be like a 40-minute train ride over into the city, and then I would just go walk into the Soma area. Now that I don't have to do that, my commute is literally right there at my bed to right there at my desk. So many days I'll actually wake up 20 minutes before my first meeting and then just drink a glass of water and somewhat comb at my hair. I don't really comb it thoroughly, so yeah, look halfway presentable. So yeah, that's pretty dope. Another con is gonna be cabin fever. So even someone like me that is an introvert and pretty much likes to stay to himself most of the time, kind of counterintuitive since I like to be on social media and post videos for the internet. I need to think about that. Anyway, so I haven't really seen any friends. I've seen one friend since COVID started, I believe. Yeah, we hung out about a month ago. We hung out outside, had our masks. We just caught up being nerds playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Hey, sometimes it's fun, I enjoyed it. But yeah, besides that, I have not seen the majority of my friends actually in person since before COVID happened. So the last time before this one time I hung out with this one friend, that I saw people that weren't my family members or my girlfriend, it was March the 8th. Because yeah, I just got back from Mexico with a few of my friends, and then the next day I started work. I was in the office for 1 day and then remote, and then the world just kind of shut down. Another pro, the roommate situation. So I know for a lot of people that actually working from home is a lot of strain, and yeah, it's not lost to me that I'm extremely blessed to not only be able to work from home, but my work from home situation is actually pretty great, actually better than what the office environment would have allowed for me. But I want to specifically talk about the roommate situation. So I live in the East Bay, live in a house. The way that the lease is structured is each room has its own individual lease. So it's not like, a master lease, then everyone agrees to pay their portion, and then if someone moves, you have to like cover their costs until you get another roommate in there. I'm pretty happy with this situation because in this 4-bedroom house, well, 2 people actually moved. So yeah, I'm paying what I pay for 1 room to share this big old house with 1 other person. And I'll be honest, it's kind of nice. The kitchen's way more open. And by open, I mean, I don't really have like a storage issue because I bought like my own deep freezer because I was like, trying to like, share like a normal freezer and refrigerator with that many other people can be difficult. So I just bought my own, got out the way. But just being able to like cook whenever I want to, pretty much. Cause yeah, other roommate, they cook, but it's like when it's only 2 people in a house, it's pretty easy to manage that. So I honestly think I've got like the best deal ever to have a house with one other person for the price I'm paying. And it also includes utilities. Like, yeah, it's pretty great. I can't even lie. Another con, just a general sense of anxiety every single day, which is really interesting for me because I'm not someone who's historically really struggled with anxiety, but just this year is crazy, y'all. Like, at first I was one of those people who's like, no, like this happens, like different types of things happen all the time, but no, this year, 2020, this one is different. This is just a lot of things to be happening all at once, especially when there's no sense of any type of semblance of normal returning anytime soon, and certain people don't want to follow certain guidelines and keeps pushing out to when we'll have some type of, new equilibrium of normal. But it's just like, oh, new huge thing. I saw this TikTok last week that really described what it's like to live in the Bay Area right now. It's like, okay, we're gonna stay inside because COVID-19, but we can go outside with our mask because social distancing. Oh wait, just kidding. We can't even go outside with our mask because there's the fire, so go back in the house. But you can't stay in the house because there's the fire, but then everything's going wrong, and then we've got like the supply chain issues with some types of foods, and just not knowing what's gonna be happening next, and our leaders and their lack of new stimulus packages and not figuring out what they're going to do with unemployment benefits. And that's always scary because the more people, because we all know poverty is what causes crime. So if you don't set up some kind of safety net for people to, be able to pay for their basic daily functions, you're going to have more and more people turning to crime, which is, that's not good. Like, it's really not good. And I hope at some point they realize, yeah, I understand how you don't want to cause hyperinflation, but it's a little late for that, don't you think, since you're already doing quantitative easing and pumping trillions into the market? I don't know. It's above my pay grade. I was a C student. Like, what do I know? Another pro. As an introvert, dude, I was a notorious flaker. Now I don't have to flake. I used to flake a lot on all sorts of things. Like, the only thing I'd be like a consistent, I'm showing up, is if we're going to like a rooftop bar. Cause you know how techies are. These youngins, Gen Zers with their pretty well paid jobs in a tech hub, what are they gonna do? Alcohol on a rooftop. That's just what we do. But besides that, I would flake all the time, and now I don't have to because I'm not being invited to nearly as many things as before because there are not as many things that we can do as before. So that's kind of like a blessing. I don't have to like flake on people. I do miss rooftops though. I would flake on my friends again if that meant rooftops. But I mean, some rooftops are open. Okay, I'm lying. I'm not going. See, this is the general anxiety thing. I'm not going outside because too many stuff going on. There's nothing out there for me. Everything bad happens outside. I'm just saying, both world wars, they happened outside. COVID-19, outside. The fires, outside. I don't see none of that right here in my room. Well, I mean, technically there was COVID right there when I had it, but I didn't get it from right here. That was a really weird pro. Con. Wasting time. It's really easy to waste time now, just since there's so, like, the structure of the world is just so fluid right now. I know a lot of people are having like this weird sense of timing. They're like, oh my gosh, it's about to be September, but in your brain it's still like late April, and it's like, no, we actually had a May, June, July, and we really had those other 4 months actually happened, but for some reason it doesn't feel like it, even though it also feels like we've been doing this for years. I don't really know how time goes. I'm going to need a scientist to help me with this one, but yeah, this lack of structure makes it so easy to waste time. But that actually leads me to my last pro. Since you have unlimited time, there's so much more time for activities and bettering yourself, which I've done my fair share of doing while in quarantine. You know, like learn some new skills, practice some stuff, focus on like your career plans, your goals, what you want to see, and also focus on things that are fulfilling to you. So that's one thing that COVID's really done for me. It's given me a lot of time to think and prioritize. So even though I've definitely wasted my fair share of time, honestly, more than my fair share, probably an excessive amount of time, I've also been a lot more productive. So I guess it all balances out. So those are the four things that, well, I guess the four pros and cons that I was able to, come up with in about 5 minutes of thought. I suggest you do the same just so you can see where you've benefited. I mean, we all know where we've felt the pain in COVID. Like we all know that. But just so you can see that, maybe it wasn't the worst thing ever, even though it's pretty darn close. But knowing that there are a couple positive things, I don't know, maybe that'll help uplift your spirits. It's helped mine. But yeah, that's all I had for you today. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.